Alright, welcome to Mad Hatter's Gaming. I'm Mad Hatter and this is my first video. I have a lot of different classes, but this is my favorite. This is my main, bread and butter. But if you have any questions after the video about, you want to know more about other builds that I have, feel free to comment below and I will more than happily reply. And if you have any questions about this build of my Magic Templar after this, I'm more than happy to elaborate on anything. So let's go ahead and get started with my skills. Now, with skills here, I'm rocking on my DPS bar on my sword and board. I'm rocking the Puncturing Sweeps, Blazing Spear, Breath of Life, Toppling Charge, Radiant Oppression, and Bat Swarm. Now, this is how I act with this. I always start my fights with Toppling Charge, okay? A couple of Puncturing Sweeps, a Shard for a stun, okay? And then I hit him with Bat Swarm. And then, once I see that bar go down to below 50, I smack, Radiant Oppression. Now, I don't believe in just starting a fight and just spamming Radiant Oppression, because that's zero skill, first of all, and it's just bad. So, I use that as my finisher only. Now, on my deep healing bar, I rock Vampire's Bane as an offensive if I need it. And then, Breath of Life, Purifying Ritual for one. If I get hit with fire or something, or get marked by Nightblade, boom, smack that, it's gone. And other people around me can use the Purify and, cancel out a negative thing for themselves. Healing Ward is like my oh shit thing, because when I get hit and I'm almost dead, I smack that and that gives me a full bar of, damage absorbing shield until I can heal myself. And then Elusive Miss if I absolutely need to get away. And if I have a bunch of people on me and I need to get away and I'm way outnumbered, I'll hit Bat Swarm and Elusive Miss, so that way if they tried to come and like CC me or something or wait for me to spawn, they will stay away, because they don't want to get hit by Bat Swarm. So, and I'm wearing heavy armor for this reason here. I'm wearing 5 heavy Seducer, okay? And then I'm rocking 4-piece Magnus. And when I say 4-piece Magnus, I mean 2 pieces of armor is Magnus, and my sword and board is Magnus, and my resto is Magnus. Now, I'm working the Magnus because it gives you the spell damage, okay? Max Magicka and the spell damage. And then Seducer, mainly because of this. It gives you, recovery, Magicka, recovery, but this is a huge thing right here for me, is reduce the magic cost of all abilities by 8%. Now, to me, that's great. Topped onto the fact that I'm gonna have from 9 to 12% magic recovery with the update, which is awesome. And then I'm just rocking a basic found, necklace for reduced magicka cost and increased max magicka, and then 2 rings of Citadel's Light. So eventually I'm gonna be rocking. I'm trying to find some adroitness, but for now this is my build, and it does pretty good. And so I have 42 of magic at the moment at vet 7, and you want to get at least 14 in health. Okay, you don't worry about stamina too much, because there's some champion points I'm gonna show you that kind of counteract that. And being a vampire gives you that extra for the Bat Swarm, the little DPS, and you get a 10% recovery for magicka and stamina. Now with the update, you have to have it slotted to get those recoveries, which is fine, because that's kind of what I use too. So I use my Bat Swarm. Now I have 1,254 magic recovery for now. There's a lot of good sets coming with Imperial City, so about 2 weeks from now I'm gonna make another upgrade on this. So my spell damage is not bad, and my weapon damage ain't bad. My spell resistance is pretty good, and my physical resistance is good, and it can be better once I put my champion points in on that. Now let's go look at the champion points, but before I do that, I want to show you my bar. Now I have potions. I don't hardly ever use them, so what I use is, if I get in trouble, boom, I smack a potion for that extra magic that I need to kind of save my butt, you know what I mean? So, but let's go to champion points. So with the tower, I got 10 in the magician for now, and that's only because I have 85 champion points. I'm going to be getting a lot more in all these, but reduce spell cost by 4%. I mean, that's pretty big, and the more you get in, the more it's gonna, it's gonna go up. And then if you go over here to the lover, I have 8 in Arcanus, which I'm gonna get more in there, and then right now I'm putting a lot of stuff in Mooncalf. Now this is how you're gonna work out not having any attribute points and do stamina. Now Mooncalf increases your stamina recovery, and if you come over here to the shadow, tumbling, reduced stamina cost of rolls, dodge, and break free by I have 2.7%. Now this is how you're going to break free without using so much stamina, and then have that extra ability to cover yourself. And then if you come over here to the blue, to the apprentice, I have blessed, which is increase the effectiveness of any healing you initiate. Now that is key, because you're going to be using blessed for that one, and recovery, because recovery increases the healing that you take, and then this increases the healing that you initiate. So vice versa, you're helping yourself out, especially with vampirism. Now I'm wearing all heavy, but stage 4 vampirism puts you about 140 between 90 and 140 health recovery, which is god awful. But with the passives of the heavy armor, I'm able to get my health recovery to about 240, which for a vampire is really good. Now if you come over here, Elfborn, increase the damage and healing dealt by spell criticals. That's not so much important as extra spell damage, because you're not a sorcerer. Spell erosion, the amount of spell resistance your spells ignored, that's important. And then your elemental expert, which increases your flame, frost, shock damages. That's important as well. And then if you come over here to ritual, I have a lot of points in Thermage, which increases my damage with all my magic attacks. Now that's gonna help tremendously with your all of your magic abilities, since you're magic based. For example, if you were a stamina based, you're going to want to put stuff in mighty to increase your physical damage, but it's the complete opposite for Thumridge. Now if you come over here to the steed, I have 6 in resistant. Now this is pretty important, reduce the amount of damage you take from critical hits. And then if you come over here to the lady, I have 5 in elemental defender, to help with the flame damage. But this is the key thing, reduced the magic damage dealt to you. Now I'm able to eat a lot of Dawnbreakers and meteors, not 100% because I need more passives or more champion points in this, but I can a lot of times survive it. Now this is how you're going to survive, especially with vampirism, so it's very important. And the last one is the Lord. Now the Lord I have in Bastion, because obviously you want to absorb as much damage as you can without getting hurt, and this definitely helps, especially with heavy armor. And then obviously quick recovery, what I talked about earlier, about the healing you received is increased, which vice versa, you're a Templar, you're going to help yourself out in the long run. And that's basically my champion points. And if I miss anything, or you want to know anything else, feel free to comment below, and I'm more than happy, looking forward to make more videos for anybody that wants it. Yeah, have a good one. Mad Hatter out.